So I have a tradition with myself. It's probably the only time the entire week that I have time to do something for myself. And that's Saturday night. It's Malava Malka. Please, Benny, do not call me then. No, I'm just kidding. Look at your face. This is the one time that I get to be by myself, have a glass of wine, eat the food from Shabbat, and learn and just enjoy. Thank God. So Rabbi Nachman says that the best time to learn Gemara is at night. There's a lot of reasons for this, but I was learning Masechet Hagiga, and if anybody doesn't know, for the Sephardim here who are into Kabbalah, of all of the Masechtas in the Gemara, Chagiga is really the most Kabbalistic. Okay? So anybody looking for something in between when you want to do a Gemara, but you're like, you know, the chicken crossed the road, how much does it cost him if he has like one leg or two legs and you're not into that? So Chagiga is less like that, and it's more interesting. So there's a very famous Gemara here, and I was thinking about something that Rabbi Nachman said. I actually always have thought about it, and it's hard to understand. Rabbi Nachman has an amazing, amazing quote from a Torah that he taught that was turned into a very famous song. And that is that at the end of time, there's a pasuk that says Hashem is going to conceal himself from us. And the language that the Torah uses is twice he says he's going to conceal himself from us. Now, just to make it simple, Hashem represents good. So what does it mean that Hashem is concealed twice over? It means that good in your life is going to be hidden from you. And not just is it going to be hidden from you, it's going to be hidden 2 times over. A concealment within a concealment. So obviously, when you hear this, maybe it helps validate your experience in life, right? How many people here, and you don't have to answer this because this isn't school, how many people here feel like there's tremendous, tremendous difficulties and challenges in their life, and it doesn't seem like there's any, I don't know, relief coming anytime soon? How many of us struggle with financial issues, emotional issues, family issues, couple issues, children issues, health issues, insecurity issues, trauma, abuse, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Oh my gosh, so much. So much. And comes Rabbi Nachman to tell you it's normal. Do you know why? Because in the final generation, Hashem promises us something amazing. Get ready, get excited. Hashem promises us he's going to hide from us. Great. Not only is he going to hide from us, he's going to conceal himself in a concealment. Meaning he's going to be so hidden from you, you don't even realize that he's hiding from you. You guys are getting more and more excited? No? Everybody's confused? Makes sense, no? Comes Rabbi Nachman to tell you at the end, though. Badai, though. For sure, absolutely. Hashem is there. That even though Hashem is concealing himself over and over and over, and to the point, not only do you not see him, but you don't even realize he's the cause of your problems. Meaning, what is it simply? 1,000 years ago, a Jew who was not successful financially, and he was connected to Torah, what would he say is the cause of his not making his money? Hashem didn't determine on Rosh Hashanah he would get it that year. And all of his actions would be in response to that thought. Now, what about us in 2020 that we're not making money? What do we think? We have a concealment within a concealment. Just the concealment, you would say, Hashem, why aren't you helping me? But what's a concealment within a concealment? That you think it's because of your boss, that you think it's because of your business, that you think it's because of your wife, that you think it's because of your husband, that you think it's because of your whatever, people, places, and things. People, places, and things. That's called Hashem is concealing himself 2 times over. That you don't even realize that the cause of your difficulties is that Hashem is hiding himself from you. And Rabbi Nachman says that when he's hiding himself like that, it's very hard to find him. But you need to know that Vadai, Hashem is still there. Hashem is still there. So this is a very encouraging thing to know that even though I don't see him, and even though my nature is to apply or to blame or to think that all of my problems are in people, places, and things, when in reality they're from Hashem, still, Lamase, I'm dealing with all the same problems, right? Like today, you guys know that we created this organization as a family together. It's hard. It's very difficult. Then on top of that, you have your own family that you're trying to support them. It's hard. There's a COVID virus. It's hard. We have a social revolution going on in America. It's hard. You have an issue where parents are so far removed from their kids that they have no idea. It's like there's two worlds apart. Either they're immigrants or they grew up secular and their kids are becoming religious. Whatever it is, there's such a gap between all of us. And the list goes on and on and on and on. Okay, so Rabbi Nachman tells me that Hashem is there. That's great, but how long is that inspiration last? How long am I going to be able to live with that little tiny faith? And then I saw this Gemara. And I had a chidush. And I think, Bezrat Hashem, it should give us tremendous clarity about how hopeful that message is and what we can do about it. Amru le Rabbanan le Rava. They said to Rava that Rava is not, he's not stipulated by this. He's not under this stipulation, meaning that Hashem's not hiding himself from him. But then Rava said, what do you think? I don't have to give my money to the government? Trust me, I'm also struggling. They said, okay, good. And he says, I'm certainly going to conceal my face on that day. So now listen to what it says here. Rava says, Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Afal pi shehistarti b'nei mehem. Even though I'm going to be hiding my face from them. And we know that Rabbi Nachman says it's Davka talking about us right now. Listen to what he says. I'm nevertheless going to speak to him in a dream. What is he saying? That famous song, it says, Bayomahu. I have a terrible voice. Bayomahu. Sorry. Bayomahu. On that day, that even when you're in the darkness, within the darkness, the concealment within the concealment, bayomahu. And Rava says, you know what that means? Davka bayom. During the day, Hashem's going to be hiding from you. But at nighttime, he'll reveal himself to you. You hear that? Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. I know Benny's going crazy right now. Because Rabbi Nachman teaches that daytime corresponds to the truth, emet, that you see Hashem like this. You walk outside and a limousine comes out and picks you up. Hey, Reuben, you need a ride? Me? Yeah, you. Come get in the car. You get in. Oh, Hashem's taking care of me. I prayed to Hashem for that business deal. Well, I don't even have to pray. I just walk in and people just start giving me money. Oh, Hashem, thank you so much. I come home, and even though I have issues with my wife for the past 10 years, I come home, and she's making me dinner, and she's rubbing my feet. You guys like that stuff? No? Somebody's excited. That would be a miracle. Also the other way. Don't worry, I'm not sexist. Both ways. Both ways. Whatever it is, we don't see that because it's not daytime. Comes Rava to say, but at nighttime, he will reveal himself to you. And I think that there's a very big secret here. There is a very deep secret here. Notice that he says he's going to reveal himself to you in your dreams. Hold that piece. Take that piece for a second. You guys are Bukharian anyway, so I know you guys already chopped the Gemara. But for Ashkenazim, that we don't have dreams about very deep spiritual things, and we have to wake up and not have those type of prophecies you guys have on a day-to-day basis. But listen to this next part. Rav Yosef gets in on the action. He says, I agree with him. Hashem will be hidden, but Yado Natuya Aleinu. His hand is going to be outstretched over us. Like the Pasuk says, Uvtzel Yadi Kisiticha. And with the shadow of my hand, I have covered you. So you see here that even though for sure that Nevuah is true, and we're all experiencing it, whether it's physical health issues, emotional health issues, psychological health issues, drug abuse, substance abuse, addiction to gambling, to sex, to whatever. And the list goes on, and all your financial issues and all your family issues. Hashem is hiding himself. Hashem is hiding himself. This is what we're all experiencing. And the fact that you don't even think that it's Hashem, that's Hashem hiding within the hiding. That's the concealment within the concealment. You don't happen to just have had an abusive mother. Hashem is hiding himself. You don't happen to just have no luck in the business world. Hashem is hiding himself. Comes along Rava and Rav Yosef to say it's true. Bayomahu, during the day he's hiding himself, but at nighttime he's going to reveal himself to you in a dream, and his hand is outstretched over you. And I was trying to understand and think to myself last night, Hashem, please give me an understanding of this, because I feel like this might be the answer to Rabbi Nachman's whole entire thing. Why was Rabbi Nachman obsessed with tefillah? Why was Rabbi Nachman saying that my whole entire mission is prayer? And why does Rabbi Nachman say at the end of time, everybody's going to need me? And the answer is because it's nighttime. And Rabbi Nachman teaches in the first Torah of Likutei Moharan that when it's daytime, meaning when things are going well in your life, which none of us know about, and things are going easy and smooth, the money's coming in, the relationship is smooth, the kids are listening to you, the mechitza is extended much longer than the little one that we have. Struggling with this little mechitza over here, V'ezrat Hashem will invest in one. This is for sure not daytime. We're struggling. It's not like that. During the daytime, Rabbi Nachman says, go look for Hashem. Meaning, go learn Torah. Because Rabbi Nachman teaches in the first Torah of Likutei Moharan that Torah is the concept of Hashem revealing himself. Meaning, go look for Hashem in what's happening to you. Because you have ability to see it. It's like daytime. When the sun is out, you have clarity. You can walk, you can move, you can see. That's the benefit of the sun. But what happens if you're outside and it's dark and it's scary and you have a million things going on and you don't even know where you're going? What is there to do? Rabbi Nachman says when it is nighttime, you should act differently than daytime. Rabbi Nachman says when it's daytime, you need to be like Yaakov Avinu. That the concept of Yaakov is give emet to Yaakov, give truth to Yaakov. Meaning, go search for Hashem in your life. Go look for where Hashem is in everything. But Rabbi Nachman says when it's nighttime, you have to do the opposite. And he says, he compares it to the moon and the sun. At nighttime, how do we have light? Does anybody know? The sun is reflecting itself through the moon. Meaning that all of our light comes from the moon at night. But anybody who ever went to school or watched National Geographic or learned the first Torah of Likutei Moharan knows that in fact the moon has no light of its own. It reflects the light of the sun. And Rabbi Nachman teaches that the entire reason Hashem created a sun and a moon is to teach you how to deal with these two times in your life. When things are going well, it's like daytime with the sun. Things are clear, just go walk. You're good to go. But when it's nighttime and it's difficult, you can't treat it like the sun. You have to treat it like the moon. How do you receive the light of the sun at nighttime? Make yourself like the moon. And what does that mean practically? Nullify your limited understanding of what's happening to you and receive and acknowledge and experience that what's taking place in your life is from the Yad of Hashem. Because you're not going to be able to intellectually chop, you're not going to be able to internalize in a way that makes sense to you that this is Hashem. Why? Because it's nighttime. You can't figure it out. So what is there to do? Where's my hope when we're in the concealment within a concealment? The hope is you need to make yourself like no thing, like the moon. The moon is able to reflect the light of the sun and shine it out to the whole world. There's a benefit of the moon. The sun is great. What's the issue with the sun? You get no benefit at night. The moon, not only is it shining to you, it's shining to you at a time when you have no light in your life. What is the entire avoda of the moon? The Zohar, the deepest mystical text of Kabbalah, of Judaism, says the moon has nothing of its own. And because of that, it's able to receive all the light of the sun. Meaning, emunah. 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 What's the difference between emunah, faith, and emet, truth? Rabbi Nachman says they're dependent on each other. To the degree that you have truth, to that degree you can have real faith. Because what are you believing in? The truth. Many people don't understand. They go, oh, how is it different than Christianity? They say we just believe. We have blind faith. It sounds like Rabbi Nachman is teaching us to just believe everything is good. Rabbi Nachman says to believe that everything is good because that's the truth. And when you learn the truth enough, you're going to be exposed to that reality. And then when you come into situations in your life where you don't get to experience it, you don't feel it, then you can believe in it. But it's not to just blindly believe that everything is good. It's to connect yourself so much to the truth that when it's not showing itself to you, you still believe in it. For example, let's say, for instance, me and Ellie become best friends. We're not, but it's okay. One day, Bezrat Hashem. You're the only one I could joke with like this in the room, by the way. Thank God. Maybe this guy also. He's also Ashkenazi, I think, but I'm not sure. So we're hanging out. Every day we're hanging out. We have the same interests. We like the same cheesy music. We like the same sports activities. We talk about the same stuff. We have the same weird taste and stuff. We're hanging out every day. We're having a great time. Wonderful. Every day he calls me, how you doing? How you doing? I'm really proud of you. You're doing an amazing job with CEO and you're really helping so many people. Don't give up. Keep going every day. And then one day he comes up to me and he says, what's wrong with you? I said, what? He goes, what, you don't care about me? I said, what? Why are you saying that? You don't call me. You don't talk to me. You don't nothing. What? I'm helping you with everything. You're not going to help me with anything. That's it. I'm done with you. And he breaks up with me. And he leaves. What can I do? I can do two things in that situation. I can either say, like most people you know, and that's it, I'm done with you too. Or I can realize that what we had every other day is real. And today, Ellie's probably just having a bad day. Does everybody understand that? What am I doing in the second option? And what am I doing in the first option? If I just shoo him off in the first option and I say, Ellie, okay, good, I don't want to talk to you anymore either. What does that mean? It means I don't believe in the truth that we had together. I don't believe in that. Because if I don't see it, I don't believe it. But if this whole time we mamish have such a good connection, we've been building it, getting so close, X, Y, and Z, and all of a sudden we go through a rough patch. How do you get through that rough patch? You need to believe in when you were in love. You need to believe in the good that was before the difficulty. Because that didn't go away, it's just hidden from you. And this is the time for belief. But your ability to believe like that is dependent on the first part. Does everybody understand the mashal? When Moshe Rabbeinu came down with the Torah at Har Sinai, he revealed Hashem's love to us. The Zohar says that we experience Hashem mamash like a grandfather who has grandkids A normal grandfather who loves his grandkids and wants to give everything to them without any of the responsibility. And he came down to us and it was pure love, like a wedding ceremony. But we know, according to the Torah, according to the sages, in every generation since then, we have had a yerida of the generation. We have had a descent, meaning that love is not felt so much. We're not feeling that love so much. And as the generations go on more and more, that love is being hidden and hidden more and more. What was that thing that Moshe brought down called? It's called the truth. It's called the truth. You feel it. And now we're in the last generation before the coming of the Mashiach. And Hashem is hiding himself within a concealment, doubly concealed. He's not revealing his love. What is there to do now? Why is Hashem doing that? And the answer is, this is time for the second stage. This is time to believe in the love even when you don't see it. But you're not doing it blindly. You're doing it based on the fact that Hashem has been with you your whole life. On the fact that you can still see, that you can still hear, that you can still walk, that you can still move. On the fact that you have all your senses. On the fact that Hashem made you Jewish, even though 99.9% of the world is not Jewish. You're part of 0.01% of the world's population. Even if you're into science and evolution and X, Y, and Z, you know what the chances are? 0.01%. That is a nace. And not only are you part of that very small percentage, that's great. Another group of people could get together and just claim we're also a people. But we have been around longer than any other group of people. The Romans are gone. The Greeks are gone. The Persians are gone. The Babylonians are gone. Every single group of people who has come and have come up like a storm and looked like they were going to take over the whole world, and little old us that were all sitting and learning and praying. And you think there's no chance for us. And we're here and they're not. And the next generation comes, we're here, they're not. And even though every single time in Mamish looks like we're done, we're not. And if that's not proof that Hashem loves us, there is no proof. We keep existing when it doesn't make any sense. I remember when I was visiting the land of Israel, I had just finished my stage as an atheist my whole life, which was a very long stage. And there was one rabbi that I connected to, that finally I started to realize Hashem exists. And I had an opportunity to actually meet him. And I remember I went to his class and I was so excited. Can you imagine? You don't believe in anything your whole life. You're always searching. You're always into philosophy, psychology, existential theory and evolution. And you're constantly searching and searching and searching and coming up with nothing. And all of a sudden you get one book. And that night that you read that book, you have an epiphany. And you realize the reason why you are the way that you are is because you're Jewish, and it's not a cultural phenomenon, it's a soul phenomenon. And it's not a coincidence, it's a real thing. And Hashem exists. So I remember, I think I emailed him, or I had a rabbi email him, and he said, hey, yeah, he would love if you came and spoke to him. I couldn't believe it. For me, it was like meeting a celebrity. I go in to the class, and I listen to the whole class, and I figure I'll have a few minutes with him afterwards, if Hashem lets me, to ask him all of my philosophical questions I've been struggling with for 25 years. And I go to him, I said, do you have a minute to speak? I have a few questions. He said, sure. He said, are you busy right now? To me. I was in my wife beater probably, in my basketball shorts. Not looking like I do now. And he said, are you busy? I said, me? I said, I'm visiting Israel. He said, yeah, do you have plans right now? I said, no. He said, would you like to take a walk around Yerushalayim? I said, are you serious? He said, yeah. I said, yeah. So me, my wife, and this rabbi, we walked around Yerushalayim. And my wife said, please, my husband was an atheist his whole life. He wants to believe. He saw your book. You changed his life, but he has so many questions. And I'm a simple Yemenite Israeli Jew, and I don't have answers to any of them, and nobody has answers to him. Can you please answer his questions? I thought maybe he would say yes to one of them, maybe to another. He said, shoot. She says, what do you mean shoot? He said, ask me whatever you want. For an hours, I was asking question after question after question. He's giving me beautiful answers. I was in heaven. And then I finally said to him, isn't it really convenient that the Torah says there's all these miracles? I've never seen a miracle in my life. How convenient that the Torah that was written thousands of years ago says that there's miracle after miracle after miracle, and yet I've never seen one. And he said to me, David, do you see where you're standing? I said, yeah. And he said, do you know that 2,000 years ago, our entire brotherhood, race, was almost extinguished and wiped out? 2,000 years ago, women, men, children slaughtered and taken into the furthest reaches of the world, barely holding on 2,000 years ago. For 2,000 years, men, women, and children have been praying to one day live in the land of Israel again, to live in the place that Avraham Avinu and Yitzhak Avinu and Yaakov Avinu lived, that was promised to us by Hashem throughout the entire Torah over and over and over again. And for 2,000 years, we were all over the world praying our little tiny prayers for a lifetime, for multiple lifetimes, everybody praying. And if you asked anybody in the world, will the Jews ever be back in the land of Israel? They'd say, you are insane. You're insane. It's never going to happen. And do you know what ended up happening? After the Holocaust, when Adolf Hitler's entire dream was to get rid of all the Jewish people, every single one, to the extent that I heard that he had an opportunity, they said to him, you can either wipe out all the Jewish people for sure, you'll get it, or you can win this war, and you can't do both. And his whole entire thing was, let's make Germany great again. And he invested everything into this, and he slaughtered millions of people. Oh my gosh. And he chose to get rid of the Jews instead. And what ended up happening? His whole entire goal was to make us extinct. And as a result of the camps, after we survived, we came to what was then sort of like the United Nations. They didn't have one like that back then. And secular Jews who had no idea that Hashem existed, don't believe in Hashem, thinks that this is archaic religion from thousands of years ago, would love if all the Jewish people would just progress in life. They came to the United Nations, so to speak, and said to them, we are the only group of people in the whole world that does not have a place to live, that we do not have a place that we can call home, that we're this people and that people and that people. We're all over and we're not safe anywhere. We don't have a home. There's no other group of people like that. And they said, you're right. Where do you want to live? And they deliberated, and I'm sure they had many meetings and very sophisticated research and conversations. And they came out, I believe, with a country in South, what was it? Yeah, Uganda. Uganda, like New Jersey. Uganda. That's in South Africa? Africa, good. And do you know what their response was? Let us think about it. They came back, they said, we have a better idea. Have you ever heard of a place called the land of Israel? Non-Jewish people from all around the world told the Jewish people, we have a better idea for you. How would you feel about living in the land of Israel? 2,000 years after we were kicked out, and Hashem promised us at the end, we're going to come back from all four corners of the world and come back home. It doesn't make any sense. We didn't even suggest it. It wasn't even religious people fighting for it. And the Torah teaches at the end that the nations of the world themselves are going to be the ones who want to bring us back. They're going to encourage us to come back home. He said to me, David, you see where you're standing? You are a living miracle. You are a living miracle. You are Jewish, the grandson of a Holocaust survivor. And after 2,000 years, we should have been wiped out 1,000,000 times. You're standing in the land that our great-great-grandparents were in and have been praying for thousands of years to get back. You are a living miracle. I said, I have to think about it. I have to think it over. He was right. We don't see the miracles. They're hidden because it's nighttime. But there is a way to find Hashem. There is a way to find Hashem in the darkness. And Rabbi Nachman says, what is the way to experience Hashem at nighttime? Emunah. And what does Rabbi Nachman say Emunah is? Tefillah. Go talk to Hashem. You don't see Hashem in your life? That's right, because he's hiding himself. He's hiding himself within hiding himself. So what am I going to do now? I have all of these stressors, all these difficulties. Add the fact that I'm Jewish, you have even more because we have all these obligations and I don't even get to see the fruit. What am I going to do? Rabbi Nachman says there's one way that you can go experience Hashem in this generation before Mashiach comes. And Rav Chaim Vital, who's not Hasidic, who's not connected to the Baal Shem Tov at all, came out saying the same thing. In the final generation, the main avoda for the Jewish people will be tefillah, not learning Torah. Why? Because he's hiding from us. You ever play hide and go seek? How do you go find Hashem? There's one way. Go speak to him. Go talk to him. You're going to say, but I never hear him talking back. So you ready for my chiddush? He only comes to you in a dream. In dreams. And I thought to myself, when do you feel Hashem the most in your life? When you go and you talk to Hashem from the bottom of your heart like he's your best friend, like Rabbi Nachman tells us to. Stop talking to Hashem like he's the king. Stop talking to Hashem like he's a dictator. Stop talking to Hashem like he's some far out flying naked being that you can't see. Talk to Hashem like he's your best friend who happens to control the whole friggin' world. And tell him everything that's in your heart. Tell him your dreams. You want to know where Hashem is? He's in your dreams. If you took away all of your fears for a second, your fears of making money, your fears of getting it together with your wife, your fears of your children ever listening to you, your fears of where you're going to live, your fears of this and your fears of that, and you just took them on the side. And you had a moment that you could ask yourself, what do I want with my life? What are my dreams? If you can ask that question honestly to yourself and take a time out of the day, tonight or tomorrow, to find the answer, you will find Hashem. Because he's in your dreams. My whole entire life, I had a dream to bring peace to the world. That was my dream my whole life. I went to be a psychologist so I could bring peace to people. I used to want to be a lawyer so I could go fight for people who are oppressed and mitigated. I ended up becoming a social worker so I could bring peace. And then I learned in the Torah that the key to peace is truth. So I thought the only way I can bring peace is if I learn and teach the truth. Where did that dream come from? Does every boy grow up and want to bring peace to the whole world? Does every girl grow up and want that we should all have unity and oneness and love? Does everybody care about stuff like that? No. No. And I never understood, why am I different than everybody else? Why do I have these ambitions, these goals? Why am I like this? And everybody else is happy with a measly few bucks. Everybody's happy with this situation, with that situation. Good, I'm done. And I have these deep yearnings that the world should come together, that there should be peace, that there should be love, there should be unity, there should be truth, there should be connection. And the reason is because Hashem is in your dreams. You know who else has that dream? Hashem has that dream. Where did the whole concept of peace come from? We think, oh, the liberal Democrats, they love peace, they want peace. And the Republicans say they have no idea what they're doing and they're causing the opposite. And you have both of them fighting all the time. But where did the actual goal of peace come from? Was there always such a thing called shalom? No. Before the Torah was revealed to the world, it was not in existence. There was no such thing as a group of people trying to achieve peace. Shalom comes along Hashem to say that the greatest thing in the world is peace. And wherever there's peace, you're going to find me. You know where my dream came from, Hashem. And if you go and you take a time to yourself, without any distractions, no phones, no YouTube, no Instagram, no Snapchat, and whatever else there is. I haven't been on there for a few years. I'm just trying to reel back from the past few memories. Take all these things to the side. Go into a forest, go by a lake, go by a river. Go sit down and ask yourself, what are my dreams in my life? Before the world tortured me and abused me and threw me out to dry, and now I'm scared to do anything. What were my dreams? And you will find Hashem in the darkness. When you find that answer and you allow yourself to hear it, you're going to find Hashem, because your dreams are where Hashem is. That is where he reveals himself to you in the end. And how do you experience what those dreams are? It's not just B'davka nighttime that you go to sleep, you have dreams. What did Rav Yosef say? With the hand. Hashem, his hand is still going to be there. Does anybody know what the gematria hand is? 14. Is there any person in the Torah, besides Benny, is there any person in the Torah who has the name that is gematria 14? That this is the only revelation of God at the end of the world is going to come from his hand. 14. Anybody know? David. That in the end, when there is a concealment within a concealment, Rav Yosef says Hashem's hand is still going to be there, supporting all of us. Who is Hashem's hand? It's the king. David Melech Yisrael, Chai V'Kayam. The Mashiach. He is Hashem's hand. And I want to ask you something. What is that? Is that some vague, general concept? Or is that a real tangible thing? Because I don't know about you. I haven't seen Mashiach lately. And I think we've been waiting for him for a long time. Comes David himself, Mashiach himself, to tell you, Ani tefillah. I am prayer. You want to find Mashiach? He is your own prayer. Whenever you're talking to Hashem, you're experiencing the Mashiach in your life, the Redeemer in your life. And this is where you can find Hashem. And this is where you can figure out what are your dreams. Through Hashem's Yah that's still revealed to you in the darkness. That's David. David is Ani Tefillah. Whenever you're talking to Hashem, you're David. You're Mashiach. Rabbi Nachman says in the final generation, everybody needs to open their mouth. We saw it in Mitzrayim that the Jewish people were all suffering. Suffering. And when they all screamed out to Hashem, Hashem said to Moshe, the Mashiach, go save them. How did it start? They all opened their mouth. And this is the lesson for tonight. All of us are struggling. Even if you don't have crazy problems, which I'm pretty sure we all do. Let's say you even don't, and you just have normal stressors of life. I never heard of somebody like this, but let's say you did. That's still so hard. It's so difficult. It's so challenging. Where do I find Hashem now? There's only one place to find Hashem at this point. It's the last final way that you can experience Hashem, and it's the only thing we need to bring the redemption. Go find out your dreams. Go talk to Hashem. And when you talk to Hashem, you're going to see Mashiach. You're going to see redemption. You're going to see Geula. But your talking cannot be, my life sucks, this is going wrong, this is terrible, this is happening to me, this guy did this to me, and this is happening to me. No. Make your tefillah about your dreams. Go find your dreams. Because when you find your real dream, you will find Hashem. That is the only revelation in the final generation when Hashem is completely concealing himself. And if we could all figure out what our dreams are, we can work together to reveal them in the world. I'm now going to show you a video. If everybody can please watch to the best of your ability, I'm going to try to make it that you can all see. It's going to be hard with this little laptop. At least just hear it if you can't see it. What I'm about to show you right now is something that we've been working on in theory for many months and in practice for a few weeks. I'm going to do it. They can't be able to see it. They're not going to be able to see it. The reason I'm showing this to you is for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is because you guys have been with us since the beginning. We started in May. And with very, very little, thank God what you have done is not little, but what we have is physically little. We have literally been able to reach out all over the world. That right now there's people from Chicago watching. There's people from Brooklyn watching. Miami watching. And when this is over, there's people from Israel watching. I had somebody who video chatted me from Chile and was asking me about Rabbi Nachman. Mexico, Canada, and the list goes on and on. And this is with a few measly rubles. Actually, those are a lot. Coins, shekels. Imagine what we could do with so much more. Imagine what we can do with a legitimate amount of money that any organization uses to run. And the people around me have been encouraging me day and night to make some type of little 5-minute promotional video where I talk about the project so people can understand what we're actually doing, so they know what they can contribute to. And I want to tell you this right now. This video is not finished. And in fact, we made it in a very unorthodox way. They wanted me to prepare a whole speech and X, Y, and Z. You guys know I don't really do that. I just talk from my heart. And I had just finished an hour Hibodedut, and they gave me this whole plan, and I said, scrap the plan. I'm just going to start talking. You tape it. They took that video, and they turned it into a 5-minute thing. And the guy from France, who left behind his job for 30 years so that he can help us with this project because he believes in this, he made this video. This is not professionally done yet. We don't have certain things that we need in the video. That is going to cost money for us to do that. But if we make this video for real and we can get it out to everybody, we can really, Bezrat Hashem, bring in significant resources that will allow us to get this to many, many places. And you need to know, my dreams are very big. Our dreams are very big. I don't just want this to be in Beit Midrashim. I don't just want this to be in yeshivas. I want this to be in jail cells. I want this to be in substance abuse clinics. I want this to be in addiction groups. I want this to be all over the world. And Rabbi Nachman promises it's going to happen. We have an opportunity together to be a part of something historic, something transformative. And I'm not just saying that. Anybody who knows me knows I've sacrificed everything in my life to make this happen, and all the people who are part of the project are doing the same thing at their level. But Lamais, at the end of the day, when we just have enough money to pay the people who are involved at the end of the month, which is less money than you could possibly imagine, just so we can do this, we're very limited in what we can do. Bezrat Hashem, with the video, I can bring this to people to show us people who actually have money, who want to contribute to good causes. But we need to make this video. So I'm showing you guys before anybody sees it, because you guys have been with us since the beginning. Bezrat Hashem, you can even give us feedback. But please, I'm begging you, whatever you can help us with, it's the biggest chut in the world. I'm telling you from my heart. There's many causes for tzedakah. I don't know a better cause in the world to give tzedakah to than people who are trying to literally bring redemption to people, and not just in a way of predictions. That mamish, you see people's lives are changing. Everyone telling me that their lives are changing. And it's all this one sage, this one great tzaddik. And we're just scratching the surface. We haven't even started yet. Imagine what we could do. We could do so much. So please watch this video. If anybody is able to contribute to making it official, which is going to be a few $1,000s. And if you're not able to, if you know anybody who can, or even if you can give whatever you can, and then you can also ask people, please, I'm begging you. There's many people who are going to call you and tell you, buy this knife set, and they're going to convince you, and you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on it, and then you're going to regret it after. This you will not regret. I promise you, I don't take one penny. This is a non-for-profit organization. We're literally trying to save people's lives. It is pekuach nefesh. People are dying. And even if they're not physically dying, they're dying on the inside. And we all know it. So let's do this together. Let's finish what we started. Let's take the next step together. Please. Okay? I'm going to turn the class off now. I don't know how to do it. If someone can help me do it.
Are you the main person?
What's that?
Are you the one who's are you the host?
Yeah. While you're doing that, I'm going to plug this in. Please, Hashem, hope this works. I have these little tiny, very masculine speakers. And,
Rabbi, do you want to stop recording?
Screen sharing.
well, I think if they're on and they want to see it, I think it might be good.
How do you click it?
No, I know. I mean, just stop the recording. They'll still be on.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop.
Otherwise, we're going to release it to the world before it's ready.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording now.
So there's no point then screen sharing.
Why? It's not gonna.
Oh,
work.
so
Yeah.
you